Dave, let's talk about what happens in the next stage of the big W when we're starting to feel some pretty strong emotions.
Yeah. Let's talk about anger. Your
Yep.
feelings of anger kick in as a reaction, and on both feeling wheels in the car. And what's happened is that your body and emotions have flared up, and so you can get in your body grinding teeth, clenched fists, and both in your feelings and in your body, you really can tighten up, and
I imagine with anger as well, it's, this is the time to start blaming somebody. Or somebody must be have done this to me. Does that happen?
It does happen. And not only blaming other people, you can blame yourself. You can get stuck into yourself. And the other thing is the rage, the next level of anger can be very intense, head-kicking rage, And the trouble with that is some people use that as an excuse for violence, and violence is never acceptable. It's a choice to actually express your anger in a certain way. So that is not something that's acceptable, but expressing your anger in other ways is fine,
If I think that probably not everyone reaches a rage.
No.
It depends on the individual. They get angry, and maybe that's the peak. Do you think?
For some, yeah. And often afterwards people go, what happened, And that's in that, what the blazes has hit me.
So what happened, and some select chosen words get thrown out in the heat of that moment.
Yes, don't talk them out, please.
No.
That's a family show. Yeah.
I'll mind my tongue. Yeah.
Good, that's true.
Dave, what happens next? What's our state of mind?
Well, anxiety typically exhibits itself, comes out in physical ways. It's a body thing. But with that, you can freeze up, you can want to run, the flight thing, or you want to turn and fight the thing. And with anxiety, you can get dry mouth, shaking, sweating, upset stomach, shallow breathing. So all these things, often there's some of these are symptoms of a panic attack on that gradient of anxiety.
So it seems like you're not really thinking very much. You're flooded with feelings and emotions.
Yes, you are. And they dominate. They overwhelm you sometimes. And the worry, the fear, the terror that you're feeling become too much for you. And when that happens, in terms of the car, those back wheels are overinflated and they dominate your actions. The action wheel becomes very small, so it's difficult to steer yourself well when this is inflamed.
When we've gone through this state of anxiety, what's the next state you could expect to travel to?
Well, because of the frustration of the situation, we've talked about anger, so you've let the frustration out that way, but if you don't let it out, you internalise the frustration, you hold it in, and it pulls you down. You just feel really stuck and sad about it internally.
And that's called depression?
That's called depression, yeah. And it's interesting, Glasser will say you're choosing to be depressed, but he says that because you're thinking certain things that actually will cause you to internalise it and pull you down. So he's very much be in control of what you're thinking about to overcome depression.
What sort of thing would you think about to overcome depression?
Yeah. You've got a choice. Was this something you could control or not? If it's something you couldn't control and you're getting depressed about that, then that's pretty irrational. You couldn't control it, so why go on and on about it. But if
Yeah.
you could control it and you didn't, that's a more sensible reason to get depressed.
Yeah.
But in terms of the car, your body wheel, it can get pretty down. You know, you sag and your face. You can see in people
Yeah.
how their depression is reflected.
Yeah.
Their emotions, that's also a bit flat because they're usually the negative type emotions.
Mm.